Welcome to AHA, A Human Among Humans. We have Will Kurtz. This show is going to be called No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred!
I've selected quotes from The Sun, a magazine, an avant-garde magazine that'll help us live our lives in new ways, infused by The Sun.
There's a magazine called The Sun?
Yes, there is.
I know there's a newspaper called The Sun, and they're a tabloid that prints a lot of easily refutable crap, I believe.
Well, we gave
Is it different?
This is challenging you, yes.
It's the magazine The Sun is challenging me.
This is deep, profound, moving, life-changing quotes.
And it's The Sun is an S-U-N, not S-O-N.
Yeah, S-U-N, right?
Yes. Yes, as in there's one that's like sun, S-U-N, that's why they have the phrase sun of the beach. Because you go to the beach and get some sun. That's why that phrase exists. A lot of people didn't know that.
No, I didn't either.
Yep, it's true, accurate.
So you can pick any that you move to, read them.
Uh-huh.
And you can either attack them immediately or you can attack them first, and I'll defend them.
And I'm looking at anything with an M or a G.
Yes.
All right. Real love.
Whoa.
That's just the first two words.
I know, but I'm touched.
By real love?
Yes.
How about fake love?
No, but not too many times.
Do you think that Donald and Melania Trump, do you think that they have real love or fake love?
Ooh.
Like, do you think Donald Trump's like tweets her and he's like, fake love?
I wonder what she thinks of him. They don't have separate bedroom. They do have.
They do. They spend almost no time together, and I believe based on sources that I have decided are credible that she is planning on divorcing him at the end of his first term, whether or not he gets reelected.
Yeah,
whether or not. Yeah.
And they have a son.
They have a son, Baron.
Yeah, who's over 12 now.
Mm-hmm. Baron Munchausen syndrome. Baron Munchausen syndrome. Am I the first one to come up with that? I don't know. Doesn't matter, does it?
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm sorry though. I was trying to, and then you got excited about the
real
words.
Love, yes.
Real love. So let me. Okay. Real love is a pilgrimage. It happens when there is no strategy, but it is very rare because most people are strategists. Okay, I'm sorry, I got to read that again.
Yes.
Real love is a pilgrimage. It happens when there is no strategy, but it is very rare because most people are strategists.
Oh my, and who said this?
This was Anita Bruckner. Do you know Anita Bruckner?
No.
Do you know if she ever got her Bruckner?
No. So what do you make of this?
I think that it's nonsense. Horse pucky.
I love it.
I legitimately do. Because it's this notion that, I think real love is I think real love is the commitment to stay with someone and to work through whatever and strategize. Yes, of course, yeah, you enter a relationship with I don't think it's a bad thing to be like, I love playing checkers on Sunday and so do you, so we're going to strategize to do that for the rest of our lives. Hey, guess what? We both like the same things. We both kind of want the same things out of our lives, so maybe we should work together and see if we could make this work out. That's every adult relationship that's successful approaches it at that practical level. And this concept that's promoted in this quote, that there's something called real love, and it's some sort of grand pilgrimage, it's just
Oh, it's a pilgrimage. Oh, a pilgrimage.
It's a pilgrimage.
Now, what about us?
You and me?
Yes.
Do we love each other?
I think I'm going to love you if I was, since we're speaking of love.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
And we have a little strategy. We were going to do this. This
right.
helps, actually. Mm-hmm. So I wonder what she means by strategy.
Well, I took it to mean that I think people look negatively on it sometimes it's like, well, there's all sorts of different relationships and all sorts of different marriages and things like that. And sometimes it's very practical. Like, You know, one instance would be like a man who's rich and wants a wife who's young and pretty, and a young and pretty person who wants the security of living in a nice house and having nice
Yeah,
things.
that's how I've done it in the past.
That's how you've done it?
Yep.
You've always dated older women with
No,
money.
if I was playing Samson in a play in Israel, I would become lovers with the Delilah because she could help me through the play.
Ah, yes.
I have a friend who went into medical school in his mid-30s, and he didn't quite say it this way, but medical school is hard.
Yeah.
He was dating a cashier and decided to ask her to marry him, in part because he needed someone to be with him. It's just what I'm interpreting.
I thought you were going to say groceries.
Oh, yes, thank you.
He married a cashier because he needed groceries.
And that's worked. They have 3 children.
Is she still a cashier?
She was studying to be some kind of maybe legal aid assistant. I'm not sure.
When I was a youngster, I had a friend whose both his parents were cashiers. And when they got in an argument at home, they would put that little
They would?
separator between them on the couch.
The whole machine, or
No, just the separator to keep each other apart.
I don't understand. What is the separator in the cashier?
You know when you put your groceries down and then you put the separator between...
Oh, that thing. Yes. Oh, that little wooden thing. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's very nice. When I got married, someone gave us. I didn't understand how important this was. 2 little figurines. They might have been elephants. When we were angry, we turned them away from each other. And then if anybody wanted to begin to make peace, they would turn one of them closer.
I see.
And that's a certain... So I understand it now. Maybe to love someone not, is this possible? Not for what I want to get from you? I wonder. Now that you're here, I love this. I'm not sure I love it anymore.
Ah, see?
Yes, you're really. I would, if we're voting, I would give 1. It's 1 to my opponent and 0 for me.
Well, that's very big of you to say.
We'll see.
Well, we've got another one on this very page. You marked this one.
Yeah.
It says, oh, by the way, are all these quotes going to be about love?
There might be a few others. I think this book started with love.
Okay. Love doesn't just sit there like a stoner. No, like a stone. Love doesn't just sit there like a stoner. It has to be made like bread, remade all the time, made new. Love doesn't just sit there like a... There's a lot of punctuation in this.
Yeah.
Love doesn't just sit there, comma, like a stone, semicolon. It has to be made, comma, like bread, semicolon, remade all the time, comma, made new, period. Yeah.
I'm looking at these differently now that you're... Yes, so... I mean, I think it's always new, no? You're always remaking it in some ways.
Love is like bread because it's very needy. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I think I now see, thanks to FaceTime, even looking at you now, I think people look different every day to me. People I know.
Yeah, I think that's true.
So that's part of it. So at least remaking how I see you. I don't like that word.
But I guess here's the thing. I don't believe that you rebake it every day like baking. I think that is not the right metaphor.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard there's like the age-old question, if you replace every part of a ship, is it the same ship?
Or the body after 7 years. All our cells.
Right, all our cells replicate
Yes.
every 7 years. So I think that's more of an apt analogy as to what love is.
Well, we just slowly... Yes, if you got tired of the love quotes, you can open the book anywhere and pick anything at random.
We'll keep going here. I'm not. I like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what, we can come to a conclusion? I'm not sure.
I just don't think this is. I think it's inexact. I think Ursula K. Le Guin,
Who's a great science fiction writer.
great science fiction writer.
Yeah.
I think she just missed the mark a little bit, or maybe it's because sometimes these quotes, if it's a fiction writer, are taken from one of their books,
One of
and
the
it's
characters.
from the perspective of one of the characters,
Yes.
not necessarily the
This is
author.
It is great having you here. you're making me look at these in a new way. So let me just one. So do I have to remake? That sounds like too hard work.
It's a lot of work.
I like to. It is remade, which is very different. I don't have to need it.
Right.
It might ask me to. People you might have discovered are challenging. I
have discovered that.
Stand-up comedy routine. You are not, because we're not close enough yet. Relationships are hard, especially with other people. So anybody I get close to, you gotta get them for where they are.
Yes.
And understand that's where they are, that's what I have to deal with.
Yeah.
Including ourselves, yes?
Yes.
Loving ourselves, not who we would like to be, but who we blooming are. Mm-hmm. Now, do we have to remake? No, that's hard work. I like it more we're remade. Like our dreams, do something to us. But we don't have to say, I have to make myself anew every day. No, I think it's two to Will and none to Mike.
Oh, man. All right, well, let's see
If
here.
this was Survivor, you'd be doing well.
Well, okay, so we got
But
one
I'm
here.
learning so much because you're right. You're learning zilch from me.
I'm not. No, I learn from you every time. This
Okay.
is great. So this is by Norman Mailer.
Wow. About love. He's married
about-
6 times, I think.
Oh, was he?
Yep.
Marilyn Monroe once, or am I
No, that
thinking
was
of-
Arthur Miller.
Arthur Miller. They're like the same in my head.
And he stabbed. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. Oh, horrible! What a horrible person I am. He stabbed one of his wife
Really? Like
Yeah.
with a knife?
with a knife.
That's really not bad.
And he
That's
was
really bad. Did he go
very
to prison?
angry at Gore Vidal. They stopped being friends.
That's right. Him and Gore Vidal got very mad.
I think Gore Vidal said, "You stabbed your wife in the back," and Mailer said, "I would do no such thing." It was right, as if it matters. It was right, face to face in front of her.
Wow. So I mean, how do you? And she survived, or she?
And she survived. Yes.
And how did he not go to prison? Like you can't stab people.
Well, they have to press charges, don't they?
So you're telling me that if I stab someone and they don't press charges, like that's not, they're nothing. There's
I don't think anything is done if she doesn't report it to the police.
that can't be true.
No.
I mean, no. Well, if she didn't report it to the police and no one found out about it, but we're talking about it, so people
Yes.
knew.
Yes.
William S. Burroughs infamously, also along the same lines, shot his wife in the head.
Wow.
Yeah, well, you know William S. Burroughs, the kind of father of the Beat generation.
And a drug addict.
Drug addict, yeah, long
Did he kill
lifetime
her?
heroin addict. He did, yeah. He was in Mexico, and he and his wife, and of course, in his later years, he embraced his homosexuality, but in his early years, he had a female wife, and they were vacationing in Mexico, and they were trying to reenact William Tell. The William Tell
Oh, so it was a
fable,
mistake.
where she
I
put an apple
like
on
this
her
better.
head.
I like this
yeah.
better.
Oh, you like it better. End result. I mean, he
She
tried
died?
to. Yeah, because they tried to reenact
Oh,
William
and he
Tell.
killed her?
He murdered her by shooting her in the
not
face.
murder. It's second
He
degree.
was trying to kill her. He was trying to shoot an apple off her head.
Well, every couple have their game. Wow! I didn't know the show would take this turn.
Yeah,
It's not. I'm not remaking it. I'm being remade. Oh, man. Oh, was he? I don't even want to go any further. What is the next quote?
So the quote, we haven't even gotten to this. The
No.
Norman Mailer quote
Yeah.
is, "There is nothing safe about sex. There never will be. There is nothing safe about sex. There never will be." Well, no, if the person's going to stab you.
Well, Mailer never made love with condoms.
You know a lot of these facts about Mailer.
I know some people. I love this book, The Executioner Song,
Oh, okay.
which was about Gary Gilmore, who was a murderer, I believe, and released from prison, and then fell in love, passionate love with someone, and then killed 2 Mormons at a service station, and was sentenced to death in Utah, especially for killing Mormons, and didn't fight it, asked to be put to death. Until the very end, and he became famous because he was asking to be put to death. And the very morning he was saying, "Hey, is there any way rights to my story if I give you a certain percentage, you could get me out of here? So he was brave up till the end, or brave might not be the word. And Mailer wrote a huge non-fiction book about his life called The Executioner. It was made into a movie.
Yeah. Who played Norman Mailer in the movie?
I don't know, actually.
Who played Gore Vidal?
No, not Gore Vidal, Gary Gilmore.
Oh, Gary Gilmore. But what was Gore Vidal in the movie? It
No.
doesn't matter.
So is there any, let's see, we can ask back, is there anything safe about sex? Ooh. Someone said to me, one of my students, I'm not sure this is true for me, but I've said it so many times. She said when she makes love with her husband, she feels like a hard-boiled egg being rolled on a surface. You know how you crack an egg open? Or
Yeah.
you might not do it that way.
I don't know if they're doing it right.
Yes. And then she said when she's cracked open,
Yeah?
he holds her
Right.
a long time after she makes love, and she always comes back to herself again after he holds her. I used to need this deep, big time after lovemaking. I was the man and needed it. My wife, my beloved first wife, would hold me for half an hour. I would come back to myself. And she said, always in a different pattern. She said or someone else had added this to it, another student, if you're the same after you make love as before, don't waste your time.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it's such a transformational experience.
Yes.
I mean, every time, I don't know. That means that makes me think that it really just needs to be saved for really special occasions.
Oh, because you're so transformed.
I don't know.
I think I was reluctant to be transformed. Until I was married, I used to feel so sad after making love. And then when I was married, I wanted to do it for life. The rabbi wouldn't let me say that because he had been divorced. But then I would allow my beloved first wife, Robbie, and I to be bound together. Before I was resisting it immensely. So it could be, I should talk. At least I experienced what I had been fighting. That lovemaking does, as the Bible wouldn't lie to us, right?
The Bible wouldn't lie to us?
Right, man and wife are one flesh, right? So it can bring, you can become more than you when you make love. And that might not be very safe. Because you're becoming attached to someone else, let alone having a child, my Lord.
Let alone, my Lord.
Yeah, we agree finally at some point.
Finally. And you do become attached. Even if it's with a prostitute, I think you become attached.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either, but I mean, have you ever heard the great poem, There Once Was a Hooker Named Sue, who filled herself up with glue? She said with a grin, if they pay to get in, they can pay to get out again too.
Wow. No, I have not.
Well,
We're getting poetry, so that wouldn't be safe sex. Oh,
That
we
would
can
not be
pay-
safe.
We can pay to get out, yes. So what is our conclusion about this one?
that one's all right. I'll give that one to you.
Wow, 2-1. He's generous when he's ahead. We'll see what happens if he falls behind.
That's right. I get a lot more incredulous. I kind of feel like I'm your show's version of Rudy Giuliani.
Yes.
No, truth isn't truth.
What does he mean by that?
Truth isn't truth.
What does he mean by that?
I don't know. He's an insane vampire.
He was pretty good as a mayor.
He was. Well, you know what's interesting? I saw a clip of the Saturday Night Live, the first one they did after September 11th.
Yeah.
And Rudy Giuliani came out to introduce the show because obviously it's a New York show, very somber time. And Lorne Michaels came out and asked Rudy Giuliani, is it okay for us to be funny? And Rudy Giuliani's line was, why start now? Right?
Wow.
Very good line, perfect line. He delivered it perfectly.
Wow.
He looks handsome, when you look at him in that clip, and it's not that long ago, 18 years.
Some say that our president,
17 years.
Our president corrupts everybody.
I guess so.
It could be. It's like this poison. You know, like King, was it King Midas? You touched, everything he touched returned to gold,
Yes.
including people.
Yes.
So we might have a King Midas as a.
Yeah, except for I don't think it's gold.
No, Spike Lee calls him Agent Orange, which I'm going to get a wig, and that's going to be my name on the show.
Oh, I love it.
Agent Orange.
I love it.
I don't know where to get. If anyone knows where to get a good wig, please go to Orange Wig. Please send it information to CCTV Michael Koran.
Okay, here's this one's long. This one's by Susan Sontag, and it goes: tamed as it may be, sexuality remains one of the demonic forces in human consciousness.
Wow.
Pushing us at intervals close to taboo and dangerous desires, which range from the impulse to commit sudden arbitrary violence upon another person
Wow.
to the voluptuous yearning for the extinction of one's consciousness, for death itself. Even on the level of simple physical sensation and mood, making love surely resembles having an epileptic fit at least as much as, if not more than, it does eating a meal or conversing with someone.
Not bad though. Interesting. We have to admit, no.
It's an interesting turn of phrases, I guess.
Oh.
Sure.
Is it true?
No.
We solved that question. Okay, you win. Next.
No.
No?
You know what the height of sexual desire is closest to, if you look at any other physical state of being?
Yes.
Sneezing. Sneezing. Imagine, like, think of when you're having a really big sneeze. That is the most. That is the closest to. That is the closest ancestor to the height of sexual.
I think I've been
function.
afraid of what she's saying at this advanced age. To die and be reborn. I mean, the French call it the little death. Well, she has quite an experience, however. Susan. But we'll give this to you because it's not true for everyone.
Okay.
But it might happen.
I'll take it anyway I get it.
Do you find that sex gets it with the same person? You know George Carlin's famous line, fucking is nice, but making love to someone you love is 9,000 times better. What do you think of that one?
Oh, of course that's true. Sure.
Wow, so we agree, so no one wins that. That's.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with George Carlin.
Oh, I see. We'll take on Norman Mailer and
Susan Sontag, yeah.
Susan Sontag.
Roll out some Lao Tzu. Like, of course, I'll take that. Shakespeare.
Win, but not George Carlin. Okay, well, let's go on. We'll call that a tie. Maybe. I think you win.
You know, George Carlin, one of my favorite quotes of his, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I want to be conscious of what I say on your show. But one of my favorite George Carlin quotes is, "I never slept with a 10, but one night I slept with 5 2s."
Jeez. That's horrible.
I know, it's terrible, but it's a perfect joke. It's a perfect joke.
It's funny and horrible.
All right, so I think what we should do, and it's your show, I realize, but we've got about a minute and a half left, so that's not really enough to get into one, but maybe I can tease a quote that we'll get to after the break. Does that make sense?
Yes, well, yes.
Okay, all right, here we go. This quote is by Adrian Rich, and it says, this quote is by Eugene Ionsko, and it says, "Ideologies separate us, dreams and anguish bring us together."
Wow.
Ideologies separate us, dreams and anguish bring us together.
Eugene Ionesco, great playwright. We could give it a roll. We have 50 seconds.
Okay. Well, what do you think of that? Ideologies separate us. Ideologies both separate us and bring us together.
And they really do bring us together. I'm a member of Voters' Choice. I love being with a group. We're working for a good thing. Mm-hmm. Change the way we vote in Massachusetts. That doesn't separate us at all. So I'm getting to be on your side.
Already? Well, that was quick.
Ideology. And what does he say? What brings us together?
Dreams and anguish bring us together.
When I'm hurt, I'm not sure I'm such good company.
No?
I'm learning to be you now. A tag team wrestling. I'm standing for Will. Will is now ahead 4-1.
Wow, that's not right.